And what a pre-planning advisor does is we help people, we talk them through, walk them through, getting all your arrangements documented ahead of time. So when the unthinkable does happen, your families, all they have to do is grieve. They don't have to worry about all your decisions. You know, what might you have wanted? You know, did you talk about it in advance? And this is why pre-planning is so important. And I just want to get everybody in Plymouth and Marshall County pre-planned.
Absolutely. And, you know, that's the thing. We look kind of, my brother and I and my mom kind of learned our lesson through Dad's passing because he was the first one to go. We did pre-planning ahead of time, but we did it on such a short notice. And man, it was stressful.
Yes.
It really was stressful. And we could have took a lot of that away if we would have thought ahead as Dad was getting sick, you know, and we knew what the outcome was just going to be. We didn't do it to the last second. And that really was.
And you're not alone.
No.
You're not alone.
You know, and we sat back and we think about, you know, we should have did this, we should have did that. Yeah, well, we should have, but we didn't because we were so occupied with handling the family matters that, you know, pre-planning was the furthest thing from our mind.
And people don't like to think about death, and they don't want to think about a funeral or something like that. So, and I don't blame anybody, but you know, my target is to get everybody to do it before you retire. So, you know, because after you retire, then you're going to be relying on Social Security. Perhaps you aren't going to have, you know, the
enough,
extra fund. Right. So if you start thinking about it before retirement, it just gets all your ducks in a row. And the first steps you need to do is, first of all, you know, just jot down things that you think you might want. Do you want cremation? Do you want a traditional service? Do you want a 2-day service? Do you want it at a church? Do you want it at the funeral home? Are there special songs that you want sung? Is there a verse that sticks in your mind? You know, all these things. Does the person you live with, does the person who knows you best know all this stuff?
Right.
So document it down and, again, take the next step and have it at the funeral home, because I don't know if your listeners are as organized as I am, but when grief comes, you can't find anything you need.
You're right. Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
And if we if we have it at the funeral home or any funeral home, of course, I'm going to talk about Johnson Danielson, but it is such an important topic to get all your wishes at a funeral home. That way, a funeral director, pull your file, we will have everything prepared and help your family. Because funerals are about you, but they are for your families.
Absolutely. We're talking with Wendy from Johnson Danielson Funeral Home about pre-planning. You can catch this on our live stream as well at Max 98.3 Stream! That's Max 98.3 Stream! And you can catch us live. Or if you're just now joining us, you can catch this in its entirety by, again, going to our stream and subscribe to Max 98.3 Stream! You know, Wendy, so we're talking about pre-planning and stuff. It really starts first with a conversation with the family.
Correct.
And I know you probably get folks, and I would probably be one of them, but, you know, it's one thing to come to you, but it's another to know what the wishes are from the person who passed on and from the family who's responsible for taking care of everything that the deceased is asking for.
Correct.
And so you got to have that sit down and conversation with the person that may be leaving this world. And don't get caught if it's unexpectedly. Right. And it's not planned. You know, the death isn't planned, because it could be very, very trying.
Yes. And while you're going through grief, people are not making the same decisions that you're making when you have the time to think about it.
Right.
And there's a lot of emotional overspending that'll occur because both of my parents pre-planned. Had they not, when my mother passed, I'd have probably got her the most expensive thing you could find, and everyone would do that for a loved one when you lose them. But thank goodness she had everything documented that she wanted. It, you know, down to the very flowers, everything. You can go that far to have everything documented in advance. And then we'll know ahead of time. You know, every funeral, like I said, whether it be Johnson Danielson or anywhere, we can have all this information down. In addition to talking to your family and deciding, you know, what is best to comfort your loved ones. Yes, your funeral is your funeral, but it's about helping them get over losing someone very special, and that's you.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I can't emphasize enough, just sit down, ask them, you know, are you going to need a service? Are you going to need a 2-day service? Are you going to need, you know, is cremation something that you can go with? You know, the city of Plymouth has put in, you know, the new columbariums out there for people who've chose cremation. You can purchase a niche and have your ashes there, or again, talk to your family. Are they going to want to keep them? You know, these are just different topics that you're going to need to talk about with your family. And then once you get a plan down, come to a funeral home, get all this documented and on file in the funeral home. And we can also give you a quote on what the cost is going to be. So then you can start planning for it financially. There are many ways now of avoiding, you know, writing the big check right then and there and wiping out your savings, or, you know.
Right.
One thing that funeral homes have been doing since the mid-'80s is life insurance can fund your funeral. So if you come in, you can make payments on your service by using a life insurance policy. If you already have a life insurance policy, that is great. Congratulations on doing that. But if you fund it with us and use our service specifically for your funeral, it freezes the cost of your insurance or of your service. So if you pick out, say, a $5,000 service today, you fund it, whether with a policy or just, you know, a flat out single pay, that freezes the cost to you. It
Sure.
freezes the cost of your chosen service. So, like I said, do this before retirement, then you're going to have 20, 30 years, hopefully, before you even have to think about funeral arrangements, or should you get sick, it's already done. And you will have that money for your medications or things, you know, when you get sick, because you have planned for this while you were still working. So a service that you choose today, 20 years from now, 25 years from now, will still cost the same, regardless of all the price increases that everybody seems to know about right now.
You know, and really the pre-planning part is a carte blanche kind of thing, isn't it? I mean, you decide what you want to do, you know, and Johnson Danielson doesn't sit here and say, well, we're going to include this into this because that's what our part, you know, this is all about the individual.
Correct.
You know, this is so you guys are just there to do what you're being told you would like done.
Exactly. You come in, you tell me what you want. We can print you up an invoice. If it's, you know, much less than what you thought, we can add other things into it to make your family more comfortable. Or, you know, if you didn't realize how expensive funerals really are, then we can, you know, perhaps give you other options. But this is all about you. We are not by any means going to talk you into something that you don't want, that your family doesn't want. We will just document your wishes and accommodate you the best way for you and what you want, not what's best for us or any other funeral home. And I don't think there's any funeral home that would want to do that, you know, at the time of need. But, you know, pre-planning, you know what you're getting, you know how much it costs, and you know that it's taken care of well in advance from you getting ill. Because had you taken the time, your mother or your father, and then when he's ill, you could have spent more time with him rather than running back and forth to the funeral home, making that arrangement.
So tell me a little bit about Johnson Danielson Funeral Home. I guess what I meant to ask is, how do you guys handle it first? Is it just simple, set up an appointment and then go from there? And then everybody...
I will, you call the funeral home, you desire pre-planning, I can come to you, You can come to the funeral home. We love everybody to see what a beautiful facility it is. And if you need me to come to you, or I can meet you at a common location. A lot of people don't want any part of the funeral home until it's needed. So I'll meet you at McDonald's. I'll meet you at the Coffee Lodge. I will meet you at the radio station.
There you go. Absolutely. We'll carve off
Yes.
I'll carve out our office for you. I mean, and see, that's the beauty of working with Johnson Danielson Funeral Home. Now, I love Jim and Terry and the whole group. Mm-hmm. They're just beautiful people. And and I'm not ashamed to say this, I will be using them when I leave this world, simply because I know how much care that they bring to the table. And I've had many discussions with those two, and it is all about the request and the request of what they want done for their funeral. You guys just make it so comfortable. That's the beautiful part about it.
And in addition to the funeral home, we also have the Remembrance Center. And for those have chosen cremation, they are stocked with all different kinds of urns. We can get you urns. They have stones out there you can choose from. You can custom order. Just, we're at full service because we have the funeral home and the Remembrance Center out there as well.
So tell me a little bit more about, everybody has their unique requests that they want part of. For example, from the playing of music.
Yes.
To what they want the arrangements to look like and stuff like that. And is there a lot of requests for that? Is there a trend that's going right now when it comes to, when you notice in pre-planning?
I haven't been in the business, a long time, but I was just shocked at how many people are choosing cremation over a traditional service. With, I don't know if it's a COVID thing or what, but, when I was younger, people choosing cremation was just hardly unheard of. And now it has become very popular. A lot of people are just, choosing cremation. Another thing is smaller, more intimate services instead of the traditional visitation. But, we always will help anybody who chooses the visitation. At the funeral home, we go above and beyond for anybody. But like I said, the trend now is cremation, and a lot of people choose it with a memorial service at our funeral home. So we can do that as well. And a lot of things that people are thinking about now, which what a selfless decision people are making, is donating themselves to science. And that is something that I was shocked to find is as popular as it is.
And that's the service you guys take care of.
Well, we will help you.
Help you take care of it.
Yes. I have the information. I have several facilities that...
Because there's paperwork that goes into this.
Yes, there is. And pre-registration is required. And, we can help you through that one. We're a full-service facility there at Johnson Danielson. So we can help you through choosing cremation, a regular service. We also have what we call a ceremonial service. So if you choose cremation, you can still have a traditional service with the casket, with everything involved. We can help you through that. There are so many options. You think of it and we'll accommodate.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Did we miss anything? I mean, we've covered quite a bit.
I don't think so. Yeah, we sure have. And I can't thank you enough. And this is such an important decision. And, if you have any questions whatsoever and you're kind of hesitant, make an appointment, by all means, call the funeral home. Our phone number, 574-936-2829. Another thing that's on trend right now is we have a website that you can ask questions. You can request appointments. You can see what's going on. Jamie, our funeral director, she does a lot on the internet, providing people with information just from the comfort of your own home without taking the leap of speaking to somebody. You can get all your questions answered there. But we will pick up the phone and answer your questions if you have anything without taking the step of coming in. But don't be afraid. We're not that scary.
Well, no, you're not. And again, I can't say enough thank yous to being such a great. Here's what people don't know about Johnson Danielson Funeral Home is how much you give back to the community. Jim and Terry are absolutely exceptional when it comes to giving back to the community and promoting events and nonprofits especially. And that daughter of theirs, she's just one in a million. And we're so thankful to have her part of the family. And Jamie does such a great job in what she does. And she's got, her plate is full.
Yes. And we have a second funeral director that is, oh my gosh, over the top, detail oriented. He thinks of things that you never thought you would need at the time of need. He'll sneak up behind you with water and remind you to stay hydrated in this. And just everyone at that facility. We have a chaplain on staff, Jim Smart, who is
great,
above and beyond.
Great guy. And
we think of everything. And like our slogan is, we will provide you care that is well beyond your expectations.
Yep, absolutely. Well, Wendy, we sure are glad you're part of that.
Thank you.
And we appreciate everything that you've done since you're coming in. Now, how long you been? You just started.
3 months.
3 months now. 3 months into it. So, folks, listen. There's only one person to contact when it comes to the pre-planning, and that's this young lady right here. Wendy, thank you so much. God bless you, and keep up the great work over at Johnson Danielson Funeral Home.
Yes, thank you.
All right, back to wrap it up after this.